Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering Iron Fist, The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, the complete collection, published by Marvel Comics in 2019. This features some incredible black and white 1970s martial arts action from a couple of my favorite creators, Chris Claremont, writer, and Rudy Nebres, artist. Now, there are a number of other artists in here, and we're going to cover those folks as we go through this. But the main reason I tracked this collection down was to get a hold of some of that excellent Rudy Nebres black and white artwork I love so much. And I finally have it, and I'm here to share it with you. So we open up here with an inside title page listing Chris Claremont, Rudy Nebres, and Marshall Rogers as principal creators. We also have an ad on the inside front cover for the Iron Fist, the Fury of Iron Fist Epic Collection, which I own and may cover on the show at some point. Love this green livery that they've used for the interior credits pages and table of contents pages. Writers Chris Claremont, Tony Isabella, Doug Mensch, David Anthony Kraft, and Bill Mantlo, some great names from the 70s and early 80s. Illustrators Rudy Nebres, Marshall Rogers, John Buscema, Herb Trimpe, Don Perlin, Howard Chaykin. Then they list pencilers separately, which is odd. Frank McLaughlin, Mike Vosberg, Pat Broderick, George Perez, Joe Staten. So quite a lineup of awesome talent here on this collection. Really nice. And we have a good table of contents here listing all the issues ranging in original publication dates from 1974 all the way through 1977, and then a throw in at the end, a Bizarre Adventures tale from 1981, with featuring the Daughters of the Dragon. So we're going to even get a little of those ladies in this as well, which is pretty great. And we get the incredible covers of the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazine, which often featured Shang-Chi and Iron Fist and the Sons of the Tiger, among others. Pretty cool. And they, of course, also had live action features like extra in-person coverage of a Kung Fu tournament. And we can see here David Carradine in this woven into this feature, a live action picture of Dave Carradine with Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. So pretty great. Here we have John Buscema and Tony Isabella on our first tale. Actually here just the splash page. And then we get Frank McLaughlin and the Crusty Bunkers on the actual meat of this story. So Frank McLaughlin, I'm not as familiar with Frank's career and the work he did outside of this collection. So I'm sure that he, I think, did work for both companies. Oh, this is great here. Iron Fist fighting this sumo wrestler is an awesome scale comparison. Again, I like to talk about scale comparisons on this show. The size of two figures is really startling here, especially in this. This is a bit exaggerated here. I don't know if he got some Pym particles, but he's really looking huge in this panel. Leaving only Su Gam, the mountain which steals breath. Our master would wish you dead, and what our master wishes. Ah! The mammoth sumo breaks his rib-crushing hold, freeing you to gulp stolen breath. And here we have, for the first time in the collection, the first of many times, Iron Fist invoking the power of his eponymous martial arts gift. You assess the door's strength, even as you have gauged the strength of a dozen foes this night, and you realize that if you are to reach the captive delegates behind the door, you must invoke the seething power of Iron Fist. So again, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe will say he has no superpowers. Folks, this is a superpower. This is nice artwork here. Oh, and then we launch into Chapter 2 with the Sons of the Tiger, we have a really nice Herb Trimpe artwork on this story by Chris Claremont. Very cool. Love to see Herb outside of his normal Hulk environs. We'd get to see a lot of Herb Trimpe, obviously, in G.I. Joe, but he's just at home here on this magazine as well. His black and white artwork is fantastic. Sons of the Tiger are classic 70s characters. And here we have a Mike Vosburgh, Dan Adkins story written by Doug Moench with Shang-Chi. So we have the third leg of our martial arts trio here in Shang-Chi showing up. Love this long panel here. Mike Vosburgh, always been a solid storyteller. His line is a bit weak, but with the right inker, it looks really good. Oh, I love this montage sequence here. Very cool. My feet strike the freighter's deck, and I leap forward to greet my father's cult of sci-fan assassins. And when I have defeated the last one, there are more. The ones from the submarine, without their robes. Really cool, the yin-yang symbol woven into this. Marvel was seizing on the 70s kung fu craze, and they did it in a big way with titles like Shang-Chi and Iron Fist in Marvel Premiere, and then in his own short-lived title. And then, of course, this black and white magazine, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. And here we have Buscema with this was the kind of a neat framing sequence. Buscema did the first page, and now we have the last page. Oh, this is a nice double page spread here for upcoming story. Here it comes. Tony Isabella, Dave Kraft, Doug Moench, Frank McLaughlin, Don Perlin, and Rudy Nebres. Sock it to you in the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 10. Really nice. That's definite, I think, Rudy Nebres inks, probably, I don't know, maybe on Frank McLaughlin pencils. Oh, that cover is so cool. Yeah, this one is done by someone named Schul or Schuli, I'm not sure, because we don't have the original cover page. Love it, it was 75 cents though. And it's cool that this is a largely black and white collection, which I have no problem with, but then you get that just this splash of color with each of the covers. It's kind of nice. Yeah, so here we have Frank McLaughlin pencils and Rudy Nebres inks, and I really like this combination. This character is very menacing. This one is the Steel Serpent, so that's that guy's name. Here we have a young Iron Fist, Danny Rand. We get some insights into his origin here. Here is Steel Serpent again, so he's going to square off with Iron Fist. When I have butchered you, the fabled wealth and immortality of ancient Kunlun shall elude me no longer. Twice have I been to the city which only appears to the world on a single day each 10 years. Twice did I challenge the august personage in jade for that which I demanded. Twice I lost. So now he thinks he's going to use Iron Fist to get back. And these fight sequences are so dynamic. Really great martial arts action here. Very cool. Use of open, closed, open panels, switching back and forth effortlessly in the storytelling. Awesome. And here we get revisiting the origin of Iron Fist by Doug Moench, Don Perlin doing the art here. It looks like there is some Gil Kane here too. Here's Lei Kung the Thunderer, Iron Fist's original trainer. Always loved Lake Hung the Thunderer's costume. Really cool. Here's where Iron Fist wins the power of the Iron Fist. Now we're back to Frank McLaughlin and Rudy Nebres. And I love all of Rudy Nebres' work, but his black and white stuff really stands out. It really pops. It just seems like he was so adept at getting the most out of gray, black, and gray and black tones, and changing line weights, creative, whether he was inking or penciling, creative use of blacks. I do like the character design on Steel Serpent too. You are near the end of your endurance, but you do not allow your thoughts to dwell on that. Instead, you study the giant before you, and when you see an opening in his defense, you strike with a ram's head blow. The serpent feigns weakness, hoping to catch you off guard, but Lei Kung the Thunderer taught you not to be so easily fooled, and you avoid the treacherous attack with a chicken head block. Then it is your turn to become the aggressor in this ballet of violence, to prove that you are indeed a living weapon. There is, if you like meaty story and exposition, no shortage of those things in this collection, with Doug Moench and to a lesser degree Bill Mantlo on the case. You're going to get a lot of that. Oh, I love this. Seeing these two together on the cover, so great. Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. Now we're up to $1.25 on number 15. Shang-Chi, Iron Fist, Bruce Lee, a collector's edition of the best in martial arts action. So this is a Nick Cardy cover here. I'll have to pay closer attention because the covers are, the cover credits are listed at the bottom here. All reprints, summer annual issue of the Deadly Hands. So this one was $1.25, I think, because it was a super annual issue. More pages, more thrills. Okay, this one is Nick Cardy again, number 16. And this might, I don't know, this looks like Marshall Rogers here. Oh no, this is Pat Broderick and Terry Austin. Nice combo. This is a cool little medallion here with the characters set off, each one. It's pretty great. This character here is really cool looking. So this guy's Snake Eyes. Before there was a Snake Eyes, this guy was Snake Eyes. Oh, he grabs Blackbird up here. Oh, I can see why he's called Snake Eyes. That's pretty cool. That's a neat little... I wonder if he's a mutant or something. These early Pat Broderick pencils are really fun. And the pairing of Terry Austin as his inker was a really strong combination. Oh, yes, great. The dragon fire glows, smoldering, burning, and you strike. And the glass upon the man's chest shatters, spilling fluid and all contained upon the filth of the alley's floor. And this obviously kills him. Little blurb for next issue. Chris Claremont and Rudy Nebres, we have them to look forward to. This one, no credit note here on this cover. Looks like this could be Earl Norem, though. This is our actual cover art here, so really nice. And we are officially up to $1 for the regular sized issues from 75 cents. This looks like Claremont and all Rudy Nebres, which is beautiful. I like too the different figure types. Like this guy, he's obviously an athletic martial artist, but he's got a bit of a paunch on him, which is kind of neat. Juxtaposed against the more lithe Iron Fist. There's a lot of cool fights, obviously, in this a martial arts collection, but the one I'm kind of looking forward to that I'm pretty sure is in here is Iron Fist versus Shang-Chi, which is hopefully coming up here at some point. We have Chuck Norris on the cover of this issue of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. I wonder if they had to pay him for this. I bet they did. Well, this does have an exclusive interview with Chuck Norris, martial arts superstar. And this is Claremont and Nebres again. Nice combo. We get a little flashback sequence here, which is cool. Sort of shades of how they did it in the Kung Fu TV series, where you would get these flashbacks of the young Kwai Chang Caine at the monastery learning his craft as a martial artist in between his current travels and trials in the old American West. It was a neat, very slick way to tell a story on TV, and we get a little bit of that borrowed and placed in here. And Chris Claremont was a very adroit consumer of popular culture outside of comics, so he definitely was sort of channeling the whole martial arts kung fu hysteria that was sweeping through the Western world at this point, and did a really good job of integrating it into the Marvel Universe as well in later stories, especially in the Marvel team-up issues with Iron Fist and Spider-Man. Bob Larkin cover here, really cool. The Savage World of Martial Arts Weaponry, plus all new Iron Fist and Sons of the Tiger. So we're up to issue number 21 here. And again, we have Claremont and Rudy Nebres. And folks, I am not complaining. This is gorgeous stuff. We got this cool archer here. Let's see if they gave this guy a name. Outside of Hawkeye, we really didn't get a lot of archers in the Marvel Universe. I don't know if this guy had any staying power. Save your breath, lady. Nothing's going to save him now. I wouldn't say that if I were you, fool. I'll give you one chance. Lay down your arms. Leave Iron Fist and the girl go. At least then you'll have your lives. One man perhaps, but a man with a weapon. A man supremely skilled in the use of that weapon. So do we get... Is this guy the Soul Slayer? I don't know. Oh, here it is. But I forget my manners. I am called Bowman. I serve the Firebird. Okay, so this guy's cool. Whatever happened to this character? I wonder if he buys it at some point. Very neat, basic character. No trick arrows. Yeah, what happens to good old Bowman? Fang 2, the land of the dead. Great spread here. Nebreeze could draw just about anything. His ability to draw landscapes here is obviously eye-poppingly great. And his figure work I find incredibly pleasing. Just really good stuff. Uh-oh, looks like the Bowman's going to turn on Iron Fist. So forgive me, Jade. I have no choice. If the Firebird is to live, Iron Fist must die. So maybe the Bowman will meet his fate in the next issue, which we're about to find out here. We have a cover here from Ken Bear. Another nice pop of color. Here we have a reprise of the previous issue's conclusion. And we get Claremont and Nebreeze again, which is awesome. So here Iron Fist is seemingly battling himself in some kind of dreamscape. I don't know who this gal is, but she seems to be very taken. Oh, maybe she is the Firebird. Awesome full page fight scene here. Really cool. In another reality, another time stream, perhaps Tomas saw Iron Fist raise the alarm, thereby causing the Firebird's soul and all mankind along with it to be damned forever. In another time, another place, perhaps, but not here and not now. Great fight sequence. And Bowman looks like he's back on Iron Fist's side. Oh, this is cool. Ken Barr on this one. Special movie issue, The Killer Elite. That is actually a great movie, Killer Elite. A lot of fun. Chris Claremont and Rudy Nebreeze. Again, Iron Fist, Bridge of Sorrow. Love that mask on her. Reminds me of Madame Mask, but a martial arts version. Gorgeous, lush artwork from Rudy Nebreeze here. What a storyteller. I'm so glad that he didn't just confine himself to doing barbarian sword and sorcery comics. Those are great. I love them, but it's cool to see him doing this action as well. I would have liked to have seen him do more straight up superhero stuff. Ooh, love that. Spectral energy form of Iron Fist there. Get a nice placeholder there with the Iron Fist symbol. And I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's maybe that's Ken Barr again. I'm not sure who does that cover. Can't read that signature very clearly. But it's once again Claremont and Nebreeze. This is great. Look at this, showing different times and places. Really cool. The Nagarai are free. So the Nagarai would show up, these crazy interdimensional demons would also show up in X-Men early on too. So Claremont was doing some universe building here, and some of this stuff would overlap with his other tales. And it is obviously the Marvel Universe is the ultimate comic shared universe, with all these creators building on each other and what's gone before. And why not build on yourself? Borrow from yourself. Bowman Still in the picture. I like how they did this too. This is cool. They threw this in here so they could preserve this 2-page spread, which I've seen in some collections in reprints. That's the editors have not taken that care. Is this the exit of the Bowman? A parting word, Iron Fist. In all the countless aeons, the Firebird has given herself in love to only one man, you. There's honor enough in that for anyone, I think. God walk with you, lad, and with you, Bowman. Farewell. Oh, here in an earlier panel. This is a big, wide, wonderful world, my lad. I'll roam it for a time until the Firebird summons me again, and then I'll walk the glory road. Man, I would have loved to have seen some adventures with this character. Really cool. I wonder if he was ever used after this. I'll have to do some digging around, see if I find out. Love this 2-page spread here from Rudy Nebres, almost like a poster. Really nice. Oh, and I think this is it. Iron Fist versus Shang-Chi. And we get an Earl Norem cover. What could be better? In the Arena of Death. This might be Chaykin. I'm not sure. It looks like it could be. And we get art by story by Doug Mensch, art by Rudy Nebres. I am Shang-Chi, and though I have come to call Iron Fist my friend, I am now forced to face him in combat and, if possible, to slay him. You are Iron Fist, a man who has found one of his few friends in the youth called Shang-Chi. Now you must confront that friend in battle, a battle to the death. Great splash page. But it's going to start out, we're going to lead up to it here. I like Rudy Nebres' Shang-Chi. Very cool, not overly muscled. Our two combatants moving their way to the story, through the story, toward each other. I don't think the fight is super long. Yeah, here they are right here. So they first meet. And they know each other. Shang-Chi and Iron Fist have met previously in our Color Master of Kung Fu annual. I need to get a hold of that annual, because it's not in here. They had the cover for it. So here they're just sort of skirmishing, tangling with each other. And here the fight starts in earnest. You know you can never invoke the seething power of the Iron Fist against Shang-Chi, and yet you wonder if you might need it against such a foe. So right away, Iron Fist is handicapping himself in this fight because he won't use his full power. But it turns out he does. Oh, I see. Iron Fist, you must do as he says, and perhaps I can evade your blow. Yes, Shang-Chi, perhaps. But if not, then I'm sorry. So Shang-Chi does get out of the way, and Iron Fist bursts the wall of the arena, somehow freeing the two. And they battle their way out of it. So it's a brief battle, inconclusive, but fun nonetheless. Oh, love this cover here. And I can't quite make out that signature, but it's very cool. We get the Sons of the Tiger. Jack of Hearts. There he is. He debuted in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, but I don't know if it was in this issue. I don't think it is. I think it was probably in an earlier issue. But I do think Rudy Nebres was the first person to draw him. Blackbird is back. This looks like mainly a White Tiger story, but I guess Iron Fist must come along at some point. Oh, there he is right there. And with Shang-Chi in tow. Awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I don't think Iron Fist. I want to. I don't know. I don't think he shows up in Shang-Chi's color title ever. But in the comments, if I'm wrong on that, let me know. Again, maybe I'll do some Googling and figure that out myself too. Shang-Chi's title was great. Went 125 issues and had really one of the coolest endings of any title, of any series that I experienced. Just a kind of a nice, quiet, honorable end to a good, long run. Love the emotion, the slumped shoulders here in this figure work. Clearly you can tell that he's saddened. Oh, beautiful panel there. The tiger sons must die. I wonder if that's the cat. This looks like Marshall Rogers here. A nice Rudy Nebres pin up here. We may be done with Rudy Nebres in this book. But yeah, this is Claremont and Marshall Rogers for this Daughters of the Dragon story. They were always great Iron Fist supporting characters. Really liked them. Misty Knight and Colleen Wing. I always remember Misty Knight or Colleen Wing would rarely draw her katana. She would use it sheathed most of the time so she didn't have to kill people. We may be done with the Rudy Nebres sequential stuff, but we're getting some really great Rudy Nebres pinups and posters, that's for sure. Another one there. Oh yeah, love this. That's Norm. Another Daughters of the Dragon with Marshall Rogers. Good stuff. Good stuff. Speed to the end here, folks. We'll look at some of the bonus material. That's cool. Nice interior ad here. This is, I think, the Bizarre Adventure story, the last story. And a little advert for the Power Man and Iron Fist Epic Collection. So yeah, great Iron Fist action featuring a lot of Rudy Nebres. Sign me up. I'm down for it anytime. I hope you were too. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.